Ready for a story about superheroes? More TV superheroes, just what the world needs.
Be honest. Have you hung yourself yet?
Or what if I told you this was actually a story about super zeros? Losers. Achingly pathetic metahuman goose eggs. How about it? Ready to feel better about your own miserable lives for the next hour or so? Follow me.
Our story begins, as such stories do, with a visit to a Nazi. I'm sorry, cobbler.
Mr. Morden.
Yes, you must be Stern von Führer von Fuchs.
Martinez.
Sorry?
Senor Martinez.
Who?
The village cobbler.
Oh.
Von Fuchs was renowned for his theoretical experimentation, offering certain enhancements for a price. A price Mr. Morden was more than willing to pay. Oh, I forgot. Mr. Morden, that's me. Well, it was me. A third-rate bad guy. A nameless henchman. A real nobody. I forked over a king's ransom to that demented genius. And if I knew what he had planned for me, I would have paid double.
Can you hear me, Mr. Morden? Are you ready, Mr. Morden?
Ready!
Repeat after me, please. The mind is the limit. Again.
The mind is the limit.
Again.
The mind is the mind is the limit. The mind is the mind is the mind is the limit. The mind is the limit. The mind is the limit. The mind is the limit.
Don't touch me.
Oh, please touch me. Do you remember what it felt like?
What?
To be normal?
I'm working with some fascinating people. Each one of them is just bursting with potential. Like you, Vic.
Every person I save is me fulfilling a pledge to my mom that she'll never get to hear.
Father and I already discussed it.
Trying to make her proud. Knowing I'm the reason she's not around to see it. This is bull.
Morden.
I haven't been Mr. Morden since... No! Help me!
The mind is the limit.
I'm nobody. I've been admiring those freaks of yours for quite some time.
Are we really the best people to hunt a supervillain?
Hell no.
You're all at my mercy.
This isn't real.
No matter how hard I hit, where I hit, what I hit, I can't feel pain.
You're as afraid as the rest of us.
You're kidding me!
This is what the world looks like when we try to live in it.
We don't have to get involved. Especially if we make things worse. I want to go home.
We can do that.
I don't even know what to hope for.
I'm powerless. I have no clue how to fix this.
Hey, Dad.
This mission you're on is your mission.
Every criminal we bust, every person we save, is us. Chief said his enemies were coming for him.
Don't worry. We got this.
Now comes their reckoning!
What do you want from me?
Yes! I am ready, Father!
Holy! Holy! Holy!
I get the point!
Don't you dare hurt them.
They are quite doomed.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So we got to talk about Doom Patrol Episode 1. This is the opening scene and then just a little bit from the trailer giving you a sense for the rest of the series. It is by design meant to be the weirdest of DC Comics series because it's based on the Grant Morrison run. If you've ever read a Grant Morrison comic book, you know exactly what that means. So we'll do a new round of that DC streaming service giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite Doom Patrol moment on the video. The opening scene totally sets the tone and works in a way that the Titans pilot episode just didn't quite come together, because it's very serious material, like it's a dark, gritty series, but none of the characters take themselves seriously, and Alan Tudyk's Mr. Nobody character as the narrator sort of calls them on their bullshit, in Deadpool style breaks the fourth wall, calling bullshit on all the writers, all the producers for making a terrible series, and calling out critics for prematurely hating the series before they'd seen it. That was probably one of the funniest fourth wall breaks during the episode.
Lovely Rita. Queen of 50s cinema. Some critics called her the poor man's Deborah Kerr. Some critics called her the rich man's Yvette Vickers. Critics, what do they know? They're gonna hate this show.
I'm so happy that they got Alan Tudyk to be the villain for this as this omniscient narrator. I believe that he does this for all the episodes where he does the voiceovers, but he also, like in this really weird way within episodes, also refers to himself as the narrator. So just in general, the series itself feels like it's put together much better than Titans was put together initially. And if you're wondering where Beast Boy is, because this is a spin-off of the Titans series because you saw the same characters during Titans episode 4, Doom Patrol, but you met them in a slightly different way and they don't really address Beast Boy during the episode. So my guess is that when they're doing all those montages and the time jumps as you're learning about Robot Man's backstory, that's when Beast Boy comes and goes. But maybe later in the season we'll see him guest star or pop up at some point, because this is all happening during present day, like it says 2019 when they're playing with the train set. So that's after the events of the Titans episode, which was during 2018. So very clearly they'll find some way to loop this in. I don't know how many Titans actors are actually going to cross over to this. But I think the idea is because Cyborg is a classic Teen Titans character, eventually Cyborg will cross over with that series. But for now, it just seems like Season 1 Doom Patrol, he's going to be with this team of characters. The trailer footage has scenes from much later in the series, so you learn a little bit about Cyborg's backstory across the first couple of episodes, and it's a little bit different from Justice League Cyborg or the comic book version of the character. They haven't referenced anything about a mother box or a father box, like Young Justice Season 3 just did a version of Cyborg. We got the origin story, it was a father box instead of a mother box that gave him his powers, but we haven't quite got to the point on Doom Patrol where they've completely explained that. But really cool Easter egg, the person that's playing Silas Stone, his father on Doom Patrol, is actually Martian Manhunter from Smallville. So if you're a big Smallville fan, you'll recognize him immediately. Like, hey, wait a minute, but he's not a huge character in the first couple of episodes. Cyborg is a bit of a slow burn, but the cool thing about him, though, is that he also brings in a lot of Justice League canon, too. He references a lot of Justice League things that are going on in present day during this Doom Patrol Titans universe. So you always kind of wonder what's going on with this version of Justice League, because we know that Batman exists, we know that Wonder Woman exists, and we know that Superman exists now because we have Superboy Connor Kent on Titans. But I don't think it's a spoiler to say that Cyborg does reference a version of Barry Allen Flash, and it's not Grant Gustin, and it's not Ezra Miller. So if you ever wondered if there's going to be a speedster on Titans eventually in a future season, I think they have a good chance that they do that, because if you have a version of Barry Allen the Flash within the universe, then there's going to be versions of other speedsters too, like Bart Allen or even Wally West. So that should explain why it's separate from the CW DC TV universe and why they're probably not going to be involved with Crisis on Infinite Earths this year. I know that's a big question because it's such a big comic book event. You feel like everybody should be involved with it. I think a lot of the things that Doom Patrol has going for it as a TV show, though, is that it's really well written. It's like Legends of Tomorrow in the DC TV universe. It's a bunch of characters that you might not necessarily care about as much as, say, the other bigger A-list characters, but it's just put together very well, and it doesn't treat itself too seriously. Like, they're free to make fun of themselves. The characters spend the entire episode taking shots at each other.
And watch now, here comes Hammerhead. This one's kind of an asshole.
Except Jane's not here, you sissy little bitch!
She's in a mood. Heard you the first time. Are you a raving douche?
Hello, Hammerhead. Good to see you.
Fuck off and die, Rita.
Crazy Jane is probably one of my favorite characters from the series. I'm still kind of warming up to Cyborg and some of the other characters like Rita Farr. Brendan Fraser is amazing. This is probably one of the greatest comeback stories ever for him, especially the way they intro him in the series as the race car driver. So if you're not a big comic book reader, for the most part, all the stuff they're doing is from the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol run, so you can go read that if you want, but they're being pretty authentic to those origins with a couple twists because obviously that was taking place a long time ago, and this is taking place in 2019. But the other really cool behind-the-scenes Easter egg is that the person that created this show, Jeremy Carver, also created Supernatural, which is now entering its 1000th season. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about all the characters, or if you have any specific requests for bonus videos. I have no idea what happens later in the series. I've only seen the first couple of episodes, and it does get a little bit better. The pilot is always a little bit raw compared to the rest of the season. Titans is probably the best example of a show that gets better with each episode. Like, you start out and you're like, oh, you know, I love Nightwing, and I love some of these other Titans characters, but I just don't know how I feel about this series. Then going into season 2, it just sounds much more exciting because we have all this Connor Kent Superboy, the team is coming together, we have Donna Troy Wonder Girl on the team, and we have Deathstroke coming in with Grant Wilson, so it's just going to be really cool to see what they do with that show. But while you wait for everything, click here for my Titans Season 2 teaser video and that post-credit scene with Superboy, and click here to watch Ben Affleck explain why he quit being Batman before his contract was up. Thank you so much for watching, everybody stay awesome, I'll see you guys tonight.